Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you with a Friday morning video. Today I really just wanted to capture it basically by saying insane rally. I mean, that's the best way to really put it here. So last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we went into green, green, green. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we kind of had profit taking, uncertainty. There was a little bit of bad news, a little bit of fear. So we weren't sure if we were gonna, do basically one of those step downs or if it was going to go back. So clearly that wasn't the case. Yesterday was a very strong day in the market. We did have a lot of bad stuff come out, especially in the morning. The Fed spoke. So I'll get into it in this video and let you know my thoughts. Before I get in this video, make sure you guys super appreciative. I think I got to 800 subs yesterday. So thank you guys for all you guys subscribing. It's much appreciated. Let's try to get to 900 this month and see if we can do that. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please do now. It'd be much appreciated. So basically, the tides maybe have turned. There's a lot of, if you look at like the heat maps and stuff like that, you see the commodities, the oil, all the banks, all the flight to safeties, even the, large caps like Microsoft, Apple, Microsoft and Apple in particular, I guess. People are fleeing out of them and kind of going a little more risk on. So the sentiment might be changing. The more and more I see this happen, the more and more I think it is happening. So it started really last week, went in, the back end of Wednesday, and then it rallied on the Thursday, then it rallied on the Friday. So I think we're kind of seeing a repeat cycle here, just at a new higher low. So yeah, so Microsoft lowered their guidance. They basically said they don't see themselves hitting their guidance that they put out a couple months ago, and they lowered it. So being the fact this is a massive company in the stock market, you would think that this is bad. This is a slowdown. You're basically showing the consumer slowing down. That is true, but clearly not many people in the market care today. And I kind of look at it as a good thing. And the reason I do is because if Microsoft, one of the biggest companies in the world, sees a slowdown in consumer spending, well, the Fed's #1 priority is to get down inflation. So if the consumer is slowing down in spending, that means inflation is going to organically come down. So that's kind of good. And that's maybe why the market rallied off this news, even though it's bad news for Microsoft and bad news for growth. But it's actually kind of good news because inflation is going down. And Microsoft still, it's still going to grow this year. So it's just not growing at a rapid rate like it did the past 2 years. Jamie Dimon also came out yesterday or the day prior saying Jamie Dimon is the owner of JP Morgan. He said we're basically going into a hurricane potentially. So whatever that analogy means for him, the more and more I think about it, because he said it was a storm the week prior, I think what he's trying to do is scare people to kind of enter in the market now to kind of get the best deal, and then kind of U-turn on that hurricane statement, say, oh no, it's a storm again. So that's my opinion, because it's really weird that he would say storm the week prior, then hurricane magically a week later. That it really doesn't make sense unless he's looking to buy some cheap stocks and freak everyone out, or maybe get the sentiment on the market to see how fearful people are still by trying to really get an idea on, okay, do people think we're at a bottom or not? It just doesn't make sense why you would kind of U-turn on that a week later with no other data. So, whatever. So as a long-term investor, I kind of just buy the fundamentals of stocks I really like, and it doesn't really matter if they go up or down. I kind of win either way long-term, in my opinion. Also, the CEO of Facebook did resign. You would think this would be really negative into the market yesterday, but it did the exact opposite. It went up with the market. So it's another reason why you don't really want to day or swing trade, because if you were to bet, I'd be willing to bet, actually I said in my video yesterday, I was probably going to buy if it sees pain throughout the day tomorrow because of that news, and I wound up not buying yesterday. So it is what it is. I mean, luckily I have a position pretty well built out already. So, this is why you don't trade or swing trade or anything like that, because the market is very unpredictable, especially in a volatile market like we are now. So kind of stinks that I didn't buy, because I really wanted to buy in the 180 something, but now it's close to 200, but it is what it is. It's still a good deal long-term in my opinion. The Fed spoke yesterday. They were asked about, the rate hike in September. So they said there's 4 more CPI readings before the September Fed meeting is. And they wouldn't give us a black and white answer on if they're doing a 50, a 25, or a 75, or whatever. They really said they're going to kind of feel out what it does in June, July, and August, and then obviously the CPI before the meeting in September. I kind of like that answer because that's really transparent, it's really honest, and I kind of agree with it because I think the 1/4 point and the 1/2 point rate hikes that were put in prior to this, obviously the speech yesterday, they really haven't seen it kick in yet, and we see big companies like Microsoft and big companies are laying off, hiring freezes, lowering guidance, so it's kind of doing its own work for them. So I kind of like that. I have a weird feeling we're going to have a 1/4 point rate hike in September because we're going to see inflation come down a lot quicker than what people think, and that's actually kind of a bullish thing for the market, seeing that inflation is coming down. We're going to see a couple reports, and then they don't want to over tighten to put us in a recession, so they'll probably be like, hey, we're going to lay off the gas a little bit but keep going. We want to get to a neutral level, which would be like 2.5%, so by the end of the year. So I think it's all going to work out. I'm kind of bullish and optimistic of the next couple months in the back half of the year. So what my plan is, basically, I'm going to just keep stacking cash, and then when I see a major pullback, if there is one, I will take advantage of it and let you guys know what I buy and what percentage. If the market, just had an 8-week red week after week after week, record from 1923, just say we go on a 4, 6, 8 week green rally, I don't think I'm really, just based on the volatility and the uncertainty in the market, especially going into 2023 in the back half, if we go green every week, I probably won't do much buying for now. I'm going to kind of lay off the gas, try to get my cash flow up in my account. Right now I'm at like 5 to 7%. I really like getting, at minimum 10% cash. So that way, if we have a really big pullback, I'll be able to deploy a good amount of money. So with that said, I'm going to be very careful with what I'm buying now. Most of my positions are built out, so I've been buying aggressively since January. So we'll see. I have no margin, which is good. So just some things yesterday. The Dow finished up 1.32. NASDAQ finished up 1.84. NASDAQ finished up 2.86. My portfolio finished 5.84%, so I had a very good day yesterday. One of my better days of the year. And so something that I'm going to look for today is the QQQ. It is currently sitting at 314 when it closed yesterday, market. 318 is really the number I want to see if we can hit today. That is my 0% fib retracement line. I feel like for rubber banding, we're way too overstretched. And I think that 318 is that 0% fib line. I really want to see if we can get there today. If not, maybe break it, like get a candle past it on like the, if we can just break it on the minute chart or even the 5-minute chart, I think that'd be awesome. So this is going to be very interesting if we can, 1, get there, and then 2, not break under it, kind of hold, and then we'll see what happens Monday, obviously. But so that's kind of my thoughts. So this is really what I'm doing. I did not buy yesterday, but we'll see. So I'll make a video tomorrow, let you know if I bought anything today. And till tomorrow, peace. Make sure you subscribe. Later.